Hello everybody, my name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web. Today we're going to be discussing Charlie Kirk and his idolatry. We're going to talk about, should Christians pray at the Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall? And if they do, how should they do it? As the pagans do? So those are some questions we're going to be answering, and we're going to be using Charlie Kirk as our object lesson / punching bag in this video because he posted a Bible verse next to it, and that draws more attention and more ire to the situation. So my thesis for this video is that Charlie Kirk was committing idolatry by praying at the Western Wall as the pagans do. And I want to raise larger concern because I think many Christians don't realize that this is idolatry, that this is not a site of historical significance for Christians. And there's other practices in the Holy Land that Christians do, like getting baptized in the Jordan River. So I want to touch on that as well. But first, I want to let you know, Evangelical Dark Web is a Christian news gathering and commentary ministry. You can support our work over at evangelicaldarkweb.org/join, linked in the description below. But the least you can do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, to the podcast, if you're a listener, if you are new. So this tweet by Charlie Kirk has raised a lot of attention, and 2.7 million views. Doesn't quite get ratioed, but nonetheless got a lot of attention, sparked a huge conversation on whether Christians should pray at the Wailing Wall. Like I said before, a lot of your favorite politicians have also done this same act. By the way, you should follow Evangelical Dark Web on Twitter at EvangelicalDW. So with that said, Trump's done this. DeSantis has done this. Mike Pence has done this. Not that he's a positive example. A lot of Christians have done this. And the thing is, I think they are accidentally participating in idolatry. Charlie Kirk here is more willfully participating in idolatry, so that is why I'm singling him out. I realize that a lot of people have done this, but I'm trying to use this as an object lesson rather than me coming off as, condemnatory, if that's a word, towards towards those people and what they're doing. So Charlie Kirk posted a picture of him praying at the Wailing Wall wearing a yarmulke. And the tweet says, "I will bless those who bless you, and who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Genesis 12, verse 3. Now, Genesis 12:3 specifically refers to the seed of Abraham, which will bring forth Christ. Christ will bless all the nations. Christ fulfills this verse. It is about Christ. You should be looking for Christ in the story, especially in the Old Testament. You can find Christ in the Old Testament, and this verse is specifically talking about Christ. It is not referring to the Jewish people. So that is the main point of this verse, and Charlie Kirk is misapplying this verse to apply to modern day Israel, which is not the same as Old Testament Israel. Neither ethnically nor spiritually would I argue that they are the same people. And certainly the religion of modern Judaism is not the same as Old Testament Judaism. So we've kind of discussed a lot of my views in the John Hagee episode that I did. But long story short, I believe that the Old Testament is very preterist towards the land promises of Genesis 15. And this passage in Genesis 12 is referring to the seed of Abraham, his descendants, which, as Paul would teach, refer to those who are the elect, are the seed of Abraham. because not all who are of Abraham are Abraham. So, long story short. So, Charlie Kirk tweets this out, and what he's doing, and let's actually talk about the Western Wall for a second. Who built the Western Wall? Is this originally part of the first temple? No, because that was destroyed by the Babylonians. Is this part of the second temple? Sort of, at best. At best, sort of. It was not part of the original construction of the second temple. That much is clear. So when Jesus prophesies that not a single stone of the temple will be left undone, what's clear is that the second temple is destroyed. And this was not part of the second temple, because if this were, then what you're arguing is that the Bible was wrong. What this is part of are the extra addendums that Herod the Great did, or began. These weren't necessarily completed during his lifetime, but that's when they began. So they began sometime shortly before Jesus was born. A lot of this stuff started. And then much of it would be destroyed later on. This wall specifically has been added to. So historically, it's not part of the second temple. It's not really what's left of the second temple. It might be left on what's left of Herod the Great's construction project, but that doesn't make it a holy relic. So there's my thoughts on the theological significance of this. And Charlie Kirk is praying in a yarmulke, which is, yarmulke is a Yiddish word. It's not something that they would have been wearing in the first century. I don't even think you see that in The Chosen, which is, not exactly known for its historical accuracy. But nonetheless, he's wearing a hat that's associated with a certain pagan religion. He's praying at a holy site that's specific to a certain pagan religion. When in Jerusalem, do as the pagans do. You know the song, When in Rome, do as the Romans do. This is when in Jerusalem, do as the pagans do. So this isn't biblical, and I think it needs to be called out, because I think a lot of Christians kind of clown themselves when they go over to the Holy Land. And another way in which Christians clown themselves when going over to the Holy Land is when they get baptized in the Jordan River, despite having been baptized already. There's really only one baptism that you need as a believer, and that's, as a Credo Baptist, the one that follows your profession of faith. Now, again, though I'm a Credo Baptist, I would not say that someone who was baptized as an infant, never fell away from the church, became a Credo Baptist, became convinced of the merits of Credo baptism, I don't believe that they should get rebaptized. So those are just my thoughts. I'm not overly dogmatic on the issue of baptism, but getting baptized in the Jordan River is just you taking a bath. That's all it is. So, all right. Any other ways that I can offend people today? Deus Vult, maybe? Anyway, have a blessed day, and we will catch you on the next one, which tonight will be a live stream. And we'll catch you then.